So I'm playing with different camera angles. So I'm not always sitting on the floor. So for the month of October, in the Witchcasket was a cord cutting ritual kit. And I thought today would be a great day to do this. So generally, when we do cord cutting, it's with a person in mind. Someone that maybe we were great friends with and we shared a lot of personal information with. And then it turns out that maybe that wasn't the best decision. There's a breakup and we don't want to be with them anymore. And we want to stop thinking about them all the time. There could also be the situation of a job where we lost a job or we decided to walk away from a job, but we still have some kind of connection to that job. And we have a hard time letting it go. Things like this are generally what we use cord cutting for. It is not ever meant to be an attack or to harm a thing or person or a place. It is more for ourselves. The energy that we're seeking is personal healing, separation, to be released, to be free of an energy that is a pattern that is in our life. Thinking about something, the pattern of something that we used to do, all of these kinds of things. So this is generally the beginning of some kind of a workings that the spellcaster is going to go through. Normally, when we do a cord cutting, it is not complete by that one spell. That spell is like a bookmark in your life saying from here and moving forward, I will stop whatever this is. And then we have to take an active role and not continuing down that path. If we feel ourselves thinking about whatever it was, we think about this moment, doing the spell. If we start falling back into maybe being a pleaser, someone always says yes, we think about this spell. And so we're trying to get in our brain on how we organically react and interact with certain things in our life. And this gives us a focus on how to deter, redirect, change behaviors. So it's a lot of self-work, you know. We don't just like light the candle and then papa, it's done. We have to work on it. And then depending on your practice, we can also ask for the assistance. Our guides, our ancestors, if you work with a deity, if you work with nature spirits or anything that is a helpful energy that you work with in your life, you can ask them to assist you in this in a respectful way, where in the same way that a friend or a loved one will notice when you are thinking about something or repeating a pattern that you've already now designated that you want to stop, they help you by reminding you of these candles burning down and the ritual that was done during the cord cutting ritual. So that is my understanding on the way I interact with cord cutting rituals. The first thing we want to do is start with the foundation. So we have to bring language to our emotions and have very clear, precise focus on what it is that we are trying to stop. Make sure that we are not attacking ourselves, that we're not going into self-shame or self-harm or any language where we are belittling or demeaning ourselves, right? Everyone goes through things where we have to break a habit or we have to break a behavior pattern. The point of this is the act of self-care, self-love, is the act of moving forward, healing, growing, and achieving what it is that you want most in life, right? Okay. So once we have established what the thing is, I generally write it out on a piece of paper. I'm with the least amount of words, the most clarifying sentence that I could produce in the moment. So that is usually what my brain is doing when I'm going to start with a cord cutting spell. So the next thing is to find a very safe, fireproof tray or surface. And my favorite things to use are, I can find a lot of coasters that are actual granite or various kinds of stone. So this one is a black granite, really good for banishing, getting rid of things, changing things, transforming energies that you yourself see as negative, and allowing to neutralize it, to transform it, and allowing with the light of the flame to be the illumination on what it is that you are seeking to do. So all of this is visual. The way magic works is your intention, the visual, and how you are going to putting your energy and your focus into this, right? It's always going to be you doing the work, and your candles, your cords, the flame, all of these are visual tools to help you through the process on what it is that you are seeking to achieve. So we can do black. We can also do something that is of color. So this one is another granite. Granite is excellent. That's why it's good for countertops, because it is flame retardant. A less flame retardant item, however, can also be used for this is something that is marble. So marble, though, is a softer stone. It will be stained and it will absorb whatever it is that you're doing. So I tend to only use positive energy, like full moon magic and that when I'm using marble. And for cord cutting, I really prefer using granites. We can also go down to the river, find a flat stone, any kind of river stone that is large enough that you could fit a candle on, which I do have, but not in reaching distance. So take my word for it. Another thing you can use if you have it is a slab of a stone. So this one here, which I do sometimes, is amethyst. I also have some that are just agate or straight up quartz, geodes. You can get all kinds of different kinds of slabs. And then you're going to be interacting with your spell work depending on what kind of spell it is you're seeking to achieve in relation to the stone's energy that is connected to you. Yes, there's lots of things like amethyst being a stone of friendship and self-love, but there's also an element of recognizing that this particular energy of this stone is going to be unique into itself, and you're going to resonate with it in a certain way. And that's the energy you want to focus on when you're working with your spellcrafts. Okay. So the great thing about getting coasters is you tend to get 4. And so you can put 1 candle on each coaster for whatever desired effect you're seeking to achieve. I'm going to do the light and the dark balance for this particular spell. Okay. So of course, then we have our black candles and we have our cord. So the beautiful ritual kit from Witchcasket has given us 2 beautiful black candles and black and black cord. It doesn't have to be black. You can use just standard twine, which is kind of a brownish color, or you can use hemp rope. What you want to make sure is that it is not, that it is natural colored, so it's not going to react with the flame once it gets to it. Okay, so I am going to now shift what I normally do in my own practice and go ahead and focus on our cord cutting ritual kit from the Witchcasket. This is from the month of November 2024, and it was I think it was Letting Go was the theme. It was only 2 weeks ago. I should remember. Okay. So we have our information for the spell. Okay, if you feel somehow tied to a negative relationship, bad habit, a person, situation, or emotion which is draining and no longer serves you, a cord cutting ritual may be able to help. This ritual should be done with no malice to anyone. Your intention here should never be to harm, only to sever ties. So I already kind of explained that. Okay, so what you need is a fireproof tray or plate. So that's what I use the granite for. 2 black candles, a length of string or twine. At a time when you are feeling peaceful and calm, cleanse yourself and your space with whatever way aligns with your practice. Okay, so generally before I do a video like this, I do a bit of energy movements, I do some oils, I do a little bit of a dance, letting go of all of the stress of the day. Stand your candles on the fireproof tray using suitable candle holders. All right, so let's do that. So as you're doing this, you will be setting your intentions in your thought process, thinking about the purpose, the spell that you're about to do, and then of course the desired outcome. So all three of those parts of it. So all spellcraft can be some element of meditation with the purpose of like self-awareness, self-help, doing anything that is going to help you in your life. And so that becomes kind of the meditation that is always going to be working when you come across something that is difficult. Of course, we always want to first see if we can go non-magic and help ourselves with whatever it is. And then if it's something that is nagging at us, something that we can't seem to go through, then we can turn to magic. Or sometimes, depending on what it is, magic is the key to begin it. So it's kind of whatever in your life. Always, as I say, be the witch that you need to be in the moment. Okay, so we have our candle standing. I do want to say that at this point, you can also anoint your candles with some kind of an oil. I would not, though, put any kind of flowers on the sides. And you want to make sure if you do use an oil that it is non-flammable. Okay, a few inches apart. Tie them together with the string. Do this with the intention that one candle represents you and the other candle represents the person, emotion, thing, so the noun you are separating yourself from. All right, so when I normally do this, I will tie the candles first before I stand them up. But there's no right or wrong. It's whatever you feel. Only because sometimes the candles, there we go, will fall out of their stand. Okay. Another thing that I will do right here is that written out sentence I will put under the candles. So sometimes you can do two. So write out what the thing is and write out for yourself what your outcome, what your goal is. Okay, light the candles and state the following. Okay, so because we have our cord, I am actually going to put this on my friendship without taking all of my tablecloth on my friendship. Only because if the flame was to fall here with my cord, I want to make sure that I'm still safe. Of course, I'm going to be sitting here throughout the entire duration of these candles going down. Sometimes if you feel that the length of this is too long, you can use a birthday candle, which is going to be a shorter burn. The difference is if you are going to be working into like a chant or some kind of a visualization, a lot of times I like getting out my pastels and doing some art, or my oil paints and getting into art, and start crafting the focus that I have in mind of the outcome. So there's like all different kinds of things you can do while this is burning down, or you can just simply watch it and allow that focus go into a focused meditation of watching the flames burn. That is something that I have a friend that does that. I don't have the mindset that can sit there and watch that. My brain starts to go other places, but then I'm autistic. I seem to have multiple things going on at a time. Okay. The witches from Witchcasket say to sit and meditate as the candles burn and the cord is cut, and visualize your energy attachment to the person, emotion, thing being cut. Feel yourself being detached, empowered, and able to move on without this in your life. So what I really love about a lot of the spells out of Witchcasket is it's simplistic enough that it can be molded into like anybody's practice, while also giving enough information to understand what it is that you're doing. And I think that can be kind of a difficult balance to find that, allowing other people to incorporate this into their working practice, or as a beginner to have just enough information to understand what you're doing to try something new. And that's beautiful. So that is a skilled witch. Okay. So we have our setup. I'm trying to think of anything else. Okay, so I am going to do my part of this spell by adding what I want underneath here. That, of course, is personal because that is my own workings. I guess I can share the reason that I don't share the precise language, the precise things, is because there is an intimate relationship in the way that I perceive my own spellcraft, and how it is weaving in my life. I will only share it with people who are on my inner circle, who are on a more intimate level, what it is that I'm going through and what it is and the cause for some of my magics. And I think it's important that we understand those boundaries of keeping things personal, and then versus what we share with everybody. And the language of my spells, that's personal, that's mine. And but sharing the overall practices is the way that I learned it from other witches, by observing and respecting their boundaries while they let me learn how these things are done. And then I was able to later form the questions, understanding those boundaries on a more personal, deeper level. So, yeah. Okay, I am now ready to light the candles. I have my language under these stones, and I did shorten it just a little bit because they felt a little too far apart for my own personal liking. Okay, so I am going to burn what I am letting go, and I'm going to light what it is that I seek to receive. And the spell reads, as the cord is cut and the candles burned, I cut all ties with that for which I yearned. I release what no longer serves me. As I will it, so mote it be, so shall it be. So thanks for spending a few moments of your day with me and exploring techniques in magic as well as a cord cutting ritual. Hopefully you're having a beautiful day or night wherever you are, and happy witching.